right off of Wigwam and Indian School, right next to Millennium High School.
Nice.
Yeah.
Debbie, since you were first on very, very early in the morning, why don't you go ahead next, please?
Good morning, ladies. I'm Debbie Bates with Bates Retirement Services. My specialty is Medicare, but I help people with other types of health insurance and life and retirement planning. Right now, we're in a crazy time with COVID, so most of my appointments are just like this, you know, but I'm still able to help people. So if you know anybody that needs information about health insurance, I'm happy to help.
Thanks, Debbie. Lisa, why don't you go next, please?
Hi, everybody. I'm Lisa Platt. I'm the Chief Connections Officer at the West Valley Women Networking Association. We're in our 16th year of fostering business connections, networking opportunities, and friendships for women in the community. We've been meeting virtually since March 18th. We have the monthly programming that's held the first Tuesday of the month, which is around lunchtime. And in between, we have the informal conversation and connections. And my other hat is I help sensitive, introverted professionals learn to feel comfortable networking, learn to connect with confidence. So Lisa Platt, West Valley Women, where one can experience the art of networking.
Thanks, Lisa. And our bright, sunshiny, wide awake, I had sick puppies last night, Christopher Amos. Are you still there?
Sorry, I had to find the mute button.
No worries.
Sorry, I got like 7 meetings going.
Yeah.
All right. Me, yeah, I'm me. I don't really know what to say.
Christopher Amos is co-partner or co-founder of No Boundaries Marketing Group. He might pretend he's in charge, but it's his wife, Jolene, who's really the boss.
I'm under no illusion there, John.
I know. They do everything digital marketing wise. As a matter of fact, I will take this opportunity to share. Chris and his company put together our shopswvalley.com portal. If you have not yet signed up to receive the daily email discounts and promos, please go online and do so. And if you have a business where you would like to be able to promote it out, we are offering a 1-month package to every business in the Southwest Valley region to sign up as well. So, and it's really easy. Just hang on, my Zoom is in my way. There we go. Sign up to receive offers, enroll my business. And then what you'll end up doing is just scrolling all the way down. Oops. Where'd it go? There it is. Sorry, I'm working on a laptop, not my desktop. So my fingers are a little chubby here. Chris, did I go too far? Where's the button?
The button should be.
That's the event.
Should be down at the bottom here. You should have the form to fill out.
Oh, there it is. I didn't go far enough. Here's the form. It's all the way at the bottom.
There we go.
This small screen is really throwing me off. So
Sometimes things just look different on laptops and phones than they do on desktops, and they format differently.
yep,
Yeah. Scroll down below the red bar.
yep.
And yeah, you'll find that form. Or if you just want to sign up to receive offers, you can go under sign up and then sign up to receive offers. And there's a short little 4-question form there.
Yep. So, but Chris and his team put this together for us. We launched it in November. So that please spread the word about that, because that'll help help your business as well as the community. More reason to keep dollars in the Southwest Valley area than having somebody go elsewhere.
So how's that working with traffic wise and driving business to people? Do you have any stats that you can share?
So once we get, right now, we need meaningful offers for businesses in order to show data. So right now, we actually have several people. We've actually had, with really little or no effort, we've had dozens of people enroll. The unfortunate part is we don't have any businesses participating right now just because they just simply don't know about it. So we'll be working on a campaign for that here coming up to make sure that businesses understand their first offer is free. Why not do it? Like, try it for a month and, let us blast it out. Let us build some awareness, and we go from there.
Great. Thank you so much.
What I'd like to also hear from everybody is what's going on in your world with your business, your industry. Are things great, good, need to improve? Anybody want to volunteer first?
I'll go.
Go ahead, Lisa. Thank you.
I'll say that they're stronger than what they were months ago. I don't know if it was May, June when you did one of these earlier on, that I see some growth, I see change, but I'm also going to say something that in a million years that I never ever thought I would say, that in March, we will be celebrating a 1-year anniversary of meeting virtually.
Yeah.
And I never ever thought in a gazillion years that I would ever say that for someone who owns a networking organization. However, people have finally come to the acceptance that this is going to be part of life, meeting virtually like this. That even the people who were very, very hesitant are now becoming more open to meeting online.
Yeah. You're with your networking group, because you have a lot of people that are part of your organization. How many, ballpark, percentage-wise, were reluctant to technology in the beginning?
I would say right now there's probably about a third of the community that does not want to meet online, whether it's technology, they're busy, or they don't do Zoom, quote unquote, for personal reasons. Some of that I've had more in-depth conversations with people, and it was at the beginning, they were on a Zoom that was not well facilitated. They weren't sure what they were doing, and somebody made them feel bad. Like, and just publicly with everyone, they felt publicly shamed, and therefore they're just gonna, I'm waiting this out. Other people are waiting it out for whatever their personal reason is. And sometimes I think it's a political influence about the virus. And sometimes I think it's just they don't feel comfortable, or they don't really want to, and they'll just figure it out in a different way. I mean, these are the people that I'm not seeing showing up. And the third of the other group of people that I don't see showing up is that they're busy doing their work, whether it's, some of it's in person because of the type of work that they do. And a lot of their work is just virtual meetings all day long. And either they don't have the time to do one more meeting, or they're just all Zoomed out.
Yeah, we hear the Zoom fatigue. We hear that from actually across the country. This chamber is part of the Association of Chamber of Commerce Executives, ACCE, and they do monthly town halls, and that has been a conversation piece with anything virtual for months now. The Zoom fatigue. So, when any ideas when you think you'll be meeting back in person again?
I'm going to just preface what I'm going to say is, like, I'm not in charge of making that decision.
Yeah.
And once I got to the place of accepting that, and that I have found peace with this whole thing, and it's helped me go forward. But we have our anniversary luncheon is always celebrated the first Tuesday of July, sometimes the week before, sometimes the week after, depending on when the 4th of July holiday hits on the calendar. I would love to have that be the celebration, let's meet in person meeting. I know that for early second quarter, and my heart tells me it's still going to be virtual because there's just a lot of things going on that I'm not and you're not in charge of.
Yeah.
So, but the fun thing is that we figured out how to do the bring programming virtually and make it work and add newer elements. And so I did speed networking, the first at our January programming meeting, which was a lot of fun. And first time I ever facilitated virtual speed networking. And people really liked having 3 to 5 minutes on one-on-one conversations with one other person. And they preferred that than with a room with 3 people. Somewhere else, I did a virtual trivia, and I learned that organization did it from some free 7-day trial. And then they gave me what they learned about it. So I'm going to do that come March, virtual trivia, and do it with the 7-day free trial platform, because the platform trivia is like one little aspect of what this platform offers. And I don't need anything else that they do. So I don't really want the annual subscription. And then we can do our fun things like our handbag contest or hats contest, or have a leadership topic, or the community events when we would bring in the speakers. And all of that can work virtually. And it's been in some ways fun figuring it out. And the people who attend are really enjoying it. And one of the things that the feedback I received from the virtual meeting, say when we've done a hats contest, the person who judges it is the person who hears all the stories. And now when we did it via Zoom, everybody shared the story behind why they chose that hat. And I've always had fun, whimsical categories, so they're not all just traditional. And so everybody's loved hearing the story behind the hat, or the story behind the handbag, or different things that I've brought to give people opportunities to speak. That's more than, hello, my name is Lisa. I sell pink widgets to people at purple polka dots. And I promise I'll quit shaking your hand when you buy from me, because nobody wants to hear that all day long.
That is true. Well, I'm always grateful for your invitation to take a gentleman to lunch.
Yeah.
So thank
So
you.
that's going to wait till back in person.
I assumed.
Yeah, because otherwise it's, would just be, a Zoom call with people doing introductions. And I think that's something. And then the shoe contest, then I'm waiting till we go back in person to reserve a couple of things. So again, it's each meeting with the meeting themes is unique because of the theme, and that theme helps promote connections. And that's how the organization is different from most every organization.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Did anybody else want to chime in and tell us the good, the bad, and the WTF? I'm allowed to say that.
Sure.
Oh,
Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead, Debbie.
Well, as far as my business goes, COVID has not been good for me. Although some people in the same line of work as me have done really good with it. So I think it just depends really on the personality. I'm not much of a stay in the office kind of a person. I'm not crazy about, making phone calls and all that all day long. So having, like today, I have 3 Zoom meetings today and 1 class. It's like, it just gets to be, Zoom fatigue, as Lisa said. I hadn't heard of that word before, but it's not all Zoom. I mean, they use different platforms, and now I'm even teaching my seminars on Medicare the same way, which is, it's easier for people to not engage and not, not take the next step when it's a Zoom meeting, I have found, than it is to face-to-face meeting someone, shaking their hand, you get to know them. So it's not been an easy road for me, but I'm learning how to adapt. It's not always the funnest thing, but you got to learn how to go with the flow, because otherwise you get left behind.
Yeah. For your webinars, are they invitation only, or can anybody join in?
Anybody can join in. I mean, you do have to have an invitation, but if you want to join in, you just let me know and I send you yeah.
You might want to post your webinars on the Chamber's community calendar
Okay.
with a link to the registration. So it'd be
Okay.
a great way for you to get some publicity for that. Are you still part of GPS?
Yeah.
Are they meeting virtually?
We're still meeting virtually. We did do, because our group has shrunk. I don't know if everybody else's groups have shrunk during this, but our group has shrunk during this. We haven't kicked anybody out for not showing up, but that a lot of people, like Lisa said, are not doing it. We did in December do a Christmas breakfast in person at Mimi's. We had to limit it to 10 people, which was fine. And we had the whole back area so that we weren't contaminating anybody else. But that was really nice because we hadn't seen each other since March, so it was really, really nice to be able to do that. And we have the good side of it, which Lisa probably knows this, is we can still have our same people, even if they move to a different location where they're not, they can still market through us, and that's a good thing. We have one gal that moved to Tucson, and she came down for the live meeting. It was worth it for her.
Nice. And explain what GPS is to everybody. It occurs to me not everybody might know.
Oh, okay. It's another networking. We normally meet the first and third Fridays at the Chamber, which we haven't been doing obviously since March, but it's mostly women, and well, it's all women. It's a women's networking group, and it's exclusive, meaning we only have one person per category in the group. But it's a really fun group of ladies. We have so much fun, and we're all friends now, because we've been networking together for years. And we're always looking for new members. So if anybody that would like to join us, we're happy to have you.
GPS stands for?
Gals Prepared for Success.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're meeting virtually, and somebody can attend once before they have to join. That's another one that you can put on the Chamber's community calendar.
Mm-hmm. They can actually attend twice before joining.
Oh, perfect.
And the fees we've cut our fees in half. The fees are really cheap anyway.
Yeah.
But now it was $30 for 6 months, but now because we're not doing as much, we've cut them in half. So right now it's $15 for 6 months. So it's pretty cheap.
Yeah. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Dalana, why don't you go ahead now? I'm saving Chris for last so he can wake up.
I'm awake now. Sorry, I got off my other meeting.
Well, I mean, there's been pluses and minuses to this. For us, the pluses are we still get to have seniors that can socialize. Yes, it's social distance, but they're still able to come down and have a meal with one another. Right now, we've been, fortunate to have very limited cases. So we've been able to, instead of 4 per table, we're doing 2 per table in our dining room. We, all the activities are social distance, but they're still able to do bingo. They're still able to do, exercising, socializing, all those things. We encourage them to wear their masks. This is their home. So, we really see the benefit in the socialization aspect. It's so important for them. The negative is that we used to be able to have the community come in and join our events, and we've been very limited. We cannot have those, people attend any kind of event with us. Because we are independent living, we are able to still allow them, and we don't have AL or memory care. We are able to have family members still come in. They can't be within the community, but they can go in apartments, which is great. We have to do the temperature checks and those types of things, but the things that we could do before, having family in, wanting them to engage and have meals with their family, and join events has just been hard. But the fact that they're able to still see their family is a huge plus. It's so good in the socialization for the psyche of our seniors. I talk to so many that are in the community that are just afraid, and they're locking themselves down in their houses, and they're not, going out. They're not seeing family. They're not seeing anybody, but they are learning Zoom, which is good. So I'm working on trying to do some different virtual, maybe community outreaches that we can do, bringing them within the fold, and maybe, brighten their day or give them that 30 minutes to an hour of socialization that they wouldn't normally get. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. Maybe we could do a, virtual bingo or something, something fun that, will give them some livelihood. We are able to still do social distancing tours, which is great. So we're still, of course, mask up. You have to, temp, do all those things, answer the questionnaire, but, we limit them from common areas and things like that, but we're still able to have them out. So yeah, we're really looking forward to be able to, when we can get the vaccine, and we're working on getting those out that are within our communities to get vaccinated as quickly as possible for those that want them. So yeah, so, but we've been, like everybody else, hit hard. 2020 was a hard year for us. But we still had move-ins, we still had people coming. There's still a need, but just not as great. People are really scared in their homes, but just wanting them to understand that at least here they can socialize and live and have friends and still be, able to have some sort of normalcy.
That's good. And I'm glad you mentioned about family members being able to visit. I have an aunt that's she's in upstate New York, and
There's nothing.
it's, yeah. As a matter of fact, she ended up catching it last month.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh,
The good news is she was one of those cases where there was no symptoms.
she was asymptomatic, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and my cousin, I checked on her through my cousin the other day, and that facility finally had Zoom set up just a
Oh,
couple
good.
weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
so that
Good.
we're able to start meeting at least that way. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're very active. Our managers, we have two sets of co-managers. Is how our community works, and so there's always managers on site here they live on property. They're part of their friends and family, and so we really worked with activities as well. Tracy, our activities director, to help them and assist them with Zoom and all those social media platforms that they need to be using to connect with family as well. So that's huge.
yeah, that would be.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Chris, your turn, Mr. International Man of Wonder.
Oh, today I had a call from the Philippines already and India. Exciting stuff. Not really, actually. And I will give a shout out to the woman in my life who just purchased me probably the coolest thing I've ever gotten, which is the Manly Man Company, a box of not just beef jerky, but she has also purchased me a man card and a growler. So
Wow.
today is the pinnacle of existence. Nothing can go wrong today now. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, I don't really have much today. It's been a long night, needless to say,
Yeah.
filled with dog poop and dog pee. So
Yeah. Well, your business is different, obviously, than everybody else's, just as everybody else is different from each other too. But you are primarily online anyways.
we are. We actually just won an award. I'm actually pretty excited about this.
I saw that, where it has your name under Jolene's face and Jolene's name under your
Yep.
face.
You know, you can't fix stupid. I've learned that in this world. So, you know, I think it still not going to take away from the overall impact of said award. But yes,
What award did you win?
we were nominated as we won one of the top 10 PR agencies for the pandemic in the country.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
That's
For
great.
small business. Let me put a
Yeah.
caveat.
Yeah, that's huge.
So yeah, other than that, that's pretty much all that's going on for us right now. Just trying to maintain. We've lost a few really, really, really good clients with this whole pandemic thing, which really sucks. So a couple of them have gone out of business. We've seen a couple mergers, which is, you know, not necessarily good or bad, but overall things are kind of picking back up. I see a lot of optimism among clients right now, which is cool. I think we're all trying to move in the right direction. And, you know, I think we've had a year under our belts now, like Lisa had said, with this whole COVID thing. And so, you know, I think people are starting to learn how to adapt, some better than others. A lot of businesses now have embraced this whole e-commerce thing. So, which is, again, really good. And, you know, people are still looking to figure it all out. You know, I mean, it's new for a lot of businesses. I have clients that have been in business 30, 40 years. And so, you know, the internet's just not their thing. And so, you know, now they're learning, hey, there's another way to do this. I also see a lot of people just desperate to have that face-to-face interaction. You know, I have some business owners that are just, you know, career networkers, and, you know, they've been sheltered now. So I think people are ready to get back to a normal way of life, if you will.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I've heard that too. And Debbie, you had mentioned about a drop in GPS membership, and I know that we've had a number of businesses also close their doors or just couldn't afford membership anymore. But one of the things the chamber decided way back in the spring was that if any business was struggling, we were not going to terminate their membership. We were going to just keep them, so give them the best chance to survive. But we have members in the chamber that are member-based organizations, and they've all felt a huge impact too. Along the lines of what Chris said, there is some optimism. Our tourist industry, which obviously was really devastated last year, talking with them in the fall about what was coming up this year, they were hopeful, optimistic, but very pragmatic, thinking that the tourist season would probably look like it did 3-4 years ago, depending on what industry they were in. So something 2016, 17, which weren't bad years. They were still pretty good, but everybody just not sure. The sad part with the tourist industry, calling up all our hoteliers that do big events, they had every single company holiday party canceled, sadly. A few of them did like small gatherings of just higher echelon people, you know, but any of the parties, 20 people or more, they stopped. Um, and there is a lot of adapting, and there's still that, and I can't figure this out either, but that push against technology. There are people, as several of you have said, they just don't want to do anything Zoom or online or anything. So I don't know. What
I think a lot of people thought that this was going to be,
done?
done and over with, and so they were just going to grin and bear through it. But now I think people are starting to accept the fact that no, it's probably not going anywhere. And if it's not COVID, maybe it's something else. But you know, health and safety and wellness is going to be a big, big, big thing moving forward. So,
Oh, yeah.
we just did a seminar the other day on it with another company, and they showed a 361%, I think it was, growth in the health and wellness arena in 2021. So, and they actually still are projecting declines in tourism and events for 2021 too. Everybody's pushing their events out to Q4 now. They're not even going to try it Q2 or 3.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Along
I
those
can,
lines,
I can attest to that too. I come from the hospitality industry, from hotels, and I was laid off last year. And I was out of work for 7 months, and then I started here. And we're still, and we're hit harder because I worked remotely for San Diego, and they actually were still getting cancellations out there through into Q2, Q3. All the large conventions, as you said, anything holiday related, any of that stuff, it's all done. So it's really sad.
it is. The part of the good news, Chris, I think you might have said it about looking at the fourth quarter of this calendar year. American Express came out with a report over the weekend or Monday that said that they're betting that the national and international tourism will pick up by the fourth quarter. A lot of people have that pent up travel bug. So if that's the case, we'll see it. But I'm still hoping that with spring training and NASCAR still happening, that we get some impact. Although Major League Baseball still has not released their guidelines for spring training. Well, if they did, it's happened within the last 5 days, and I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Still kind of hoping. Here's an open question to everybody. As far as the future goes, what do you think is the most important thing or that's going to happen in the Southwest Valley, the state of Arizona, the county? What you see? What is your prediction for the future, and what should be or what is important? The vaccine obviously is going to be that for some people. But we have a variety of different industries here and a whole lot of brain power on the call. So,
I really honestly, I see that we're a catalyst for so much down here. I mean, it's our turn, it's our time. East Valley saw their share of success in the early to late 2000s. And, it's our turn, I think. And when we look at the big picture, is that I really hope small businesses embrace, technology. I think that we're seeing younger and younger demographics starting to adopt that whole entrepreneur mentality, which is awesome. But at the same time, they still need to remember you got to be online. You got to have, a presence on there so that they don't get swallowed up. We see personally in our industry, we see a lot of consolidations happening, a lot of companies, bigger ones gobbling up the smaller ones, which, again, is good and bad all at the same time. And so, a lot of these larger companies have, tremendous resources, whereas some small businesses don't. So I see the chamber being poised to really facilitate a lot with that, a lot of not only just education, but, being able to help get the word out about small business or small to medium. We'll include small to medium sized businesses here in the Southwest Valley and, help everybody prosper.
I will note that Chris is the chair-elect for the Chamber's Board of Directors, just so everybody knows. You probably figured that out in this conversation.
I don't do titles, so I'm the lead janitor. I'm good with that. Totally cool.
Cool. So
Congratulations.
John,
Yeah,
okay. So I think with what I read about people moving here and real estate growth and people and things that have been planned for long periods of time in the Southwest Valley, like along the 101 and along the 303 and
mhm.
I think the future down the road is positive. I think there's opportunities for growth. And one of my objectives with my organization is to keep a virtual component and to have the organization be a little bit bigger than just the boundaries of the West Valley, and just have that component for our members to be able to connect with women from around the country, and women from around the country being able to connect with people here locally. Because a lot of people, the products and services that they offer go to a broader audience than just the physical boundaries of the West Valley.
Mhm.
So I see virtual as an opportunity for growth and to keep a virtual component. And even for the person who maybe they live in the West Valley, but now they have to go back to their office, and their office is in downtown Phoenix. So maybe they live wherever in Peoria and they go downtown Phoenix. And sometimes it's not practical to then leave the office to drive to a luncheon, in the P83 area, or a breakfast, over in Goodyear. And that virtual component is a way that somebody can do both
Mhm.
and just be more efficient. And I think for some people, working virtually works really well with their personality and efficiency and balancing life. And I know that other people need the environment where they have more of that water cooler conversation, more of that connection all the time with people. So when I think there's opportunities for growth, but I also want to just share that a few weeks ago, I connected with a friend and we hadn't talked for a long while. And we had this meeting to talk about some business opportunities, but we started talking about the virus like pretty much everybody does. And this person reminded me that pandemics usually go for about 18 months.
Mhm.
And not that I wanted to hear that last March, but I look at coming to the summer, July, August is that 18-month mark.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of us have figured out how to do things and make it work the best that we can, or in that path of making it the best that we can by now, or we wouldn't be here right now. I'm showing up.
Yeah.
And so I think the long-term future, I feel looks bright. I do think the next couple of months will still be kind of as they've been. And then hopefully that we'll come out of this stronger. I think that we will.
Thanks.
I agree.
Yeah. Anybody else? Predictions for the future?
Well, I don't know about predictions, but I know, as Lisa mentioned, and I have people in my life that are very involved in the real estate situation going on here, and people are moving into the valley like crazy, and that's huge. I mean, we have a real good opportunity with all those new people moving in. The housing can't keep up with it. You can sell your house pretty much in a day right now, which means there's going to be more need for all of our industries. So I think that as long as we keep having people move into the area, and with Amazon and Microsoft and all those guys here, I think that helps too.
I see. One thing I do see is that just speaking to people moving into the valley, I see a lot of family members wanting their families closer. So moving people in from out of state, family members into independent living, or whatever that may look like for their family, but wanting mom or dad or whoever to be closer that we're in. I've had a family from Texas. I've had another family from Oregon, another family from Maryland, looking to move their families closer because that's what's important right now. It's made them see the importance of being close.
Mhm.
So, that's really kind of the trend right now too, is I think more so, I think family has really been imposed on people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, John, I got a question for you. Do we know, like in the Surprise area, I know this because I live up here, but they're building roughly 45,000 homes, I think, over the next X amount of years or whatever. Do we have any statistic like that for the Southwest Valley?
Over the years, I would have to combine all the cities. I know that Avondale will have somewhere around 4,000 homes within the next 5 years. I think Goodyear doesn't, what's Goodyear's projections? They haven't said it, but I know that their build permits went up the last year towards the end end of summer. I think they were somewhere around 135 new homes. So they're thinking of that, but they have Goodyear's a little different because they have a couple of areas that are already plotted out for land for residential, but nobody has made a claim on any of it. They've got obviously all the builders down the Estrella Mountain area are building.
Yeah, like fire.
Yeah, they're eventually gonna, Estrella Mountain area is eventually gonna run out of room, but there was also, prior to the pandemic, beginning of 2019, they were looking to build an upscale multifamily community of some sort. I don't know where that is now. It was put on hold with the pandemic. Litchfield Park, they have Cache Homes, Miramar, sorry. And there was one other builder up there, Richmond American, somebody else. Most of that was in the city. I was going to say that within the city walls, but that's not accurate anymore. Those are all built out. That started in 2017, 18. That brought in about another 300 rooftops to Litchfield Park. We do have development north of Camelback off Litchfield Road. I can't remember what that is. Tolleson, they are looking at, they have to have some areas rezoned. And they've had in the mayor's words, they've had a lot of people come in and say they want to do something, and then after a year, they do nothing. So the city at some point will start to look at rezoning some of the parcels that were labeled for light industrial or otherwise commercial into residential, just so they can have some more rooftops for residential. Ballpark in Tolleson will probably, within the next 2 years, will probably be maybe 150 rooftops. Don't quote me on that.
It'd be cool to get like a consolidated growth number for I'm just talking about projections. I mean,
Yeah.
Granite Surprise has a ton of land out here, but even into Buckeye, Buckeye, even though they're not necessarily a part of the chamber, huge influence on, our area and the businesses in the area. So I'd be curious to get like maybe a regional report. I don't know if Westmark or produces that or.
Actually, there's a way to figure that. Yeah, we got a couple sources to be able to get that. Goodyear actually has the most potential for growth only because they have so much undeveloped property. The Alamar project in Avondale is huge.
What
Yeah.
project?
Alamar, it's down, I'm going to get the cross streets wrong. I always do. It's down Avondale Boulevard down near, it's either Buckeye or Broadway. That master plan community has 3,500 homes in it. They broke ground on it right before the pandemic, the end of 2019. Project is still moving forward. Number of builders down there. They announced, there was a big, huge announcement about a dedicated park before the pandemic. But Avondale also has some other areas where, 25, 50 homes can be built as well. So that's the reason why I padded that number a little bit. But yeah, Alomar will be completely built out if they stay on pace. I think by 23, 24, something like that. Lisa had mentioned about the 101 to 303. Remember, Interstate 11 is still in the works, and there's now talk of Loop 404. That started at the end of 2019. Also, that's going way out west.
Around the white tanks, right?
Yeah. Well, unofficially, yes, it'll be out that direction. One of the big things coming up in the state legislature session this year, they're going to start talking about Prop 400. That's the continuation of the road tax that we already have in place. No change that the public would see. It would just be a continuation of what's already existed tax-wise. Where the changes will come is how the bill is written and the proposition put on the ballot as far as how his money is dispersed. Because one of the things that was done with Prop 300, and this is way before me, they had monies earmarked for different road projects, but it was tied to specifically, monies were tied to specific projects. And if the municipality didn't want to do that project, the money was put back into the pool for some other community to use the money. So of course, in the West Valley, there were some cities that didn't want light rail. So instead of being able to use that money for bus service, which is much more needed, the current proposition took that money, put it back in the pool, and most of it went towards projects in the east part of Maricopa County. So even rural Arizona got screwed on that too. So this one is going to be more equitable. We're obviously keeping an eye on that because that affects the entire West Valley, not just the Southwest Valley. There was a rail bill for cargo rail that went through federal government back last year too, as far as being able to reduce cost and also extend some needed contracts, and that was huge. You don't know that as most of the people don't know it as an everyday person, but all your TVs and other things, car parts, they all get shipped by rail, no matter where you are in the country. So that was a huge important thing too. So, but yeah, anything transportation wise, keep an eye on that. And internet infrastructure. That's another push the governor wanted too. He needs that to go along with his telemedicine program. So, but yeah, so there's plenty, and it's good to hear what everybody is thinking as far as future goes. I spend a lot of my time trying to predict the future. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. If I got it all the time, we wouldn't be having a conversation because I would have won the Powerball.
Hey, John,
Yeah.
are they working on building out internet infrastructure more in rural Arizona? Where I know there are many communities that are very, very challenged.
Yeah, actually, that was the push that the governor had said. That was actually on last year's legislative session, but it got curtailed because of the virus. So here's how politics works. The governor wants telemedicine made a focal point in his budget. The chair for the Health and Human Services Committee is our very own Representative Joanne Osborne out of our District 13. She's trying to push for the internet throughout the whole state as well. So to get one, they got to get the other. So she and her committee and the governor are all pushing to get all that done, specifically in rural Arizona. But we discovered that there's places in the metro area that don't have proper internet either. South Phoenix, parts of Tolleson, Levine, the north part of Maricopa County, all over. So I mean, rural Arizona needs it. They need road repair more than we do here in the metro area too. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping everything is equitable. It can't all, as much as I want everything here, it all can't be here to be fair to the whole state. So, because the whole state has to thrive. It just happens to start with us and goes outward. Now, anybody have any closing thoughts? I want to be cognizant of everybody's time. And I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your busy mornings to come join the conversation.
No, thanks for hosting, John. This was great. I like these little powwows.
So does your little compadres. So thank you so much. It's great seeing everybody. And come join us tomorrow morning at 7:30 for Friday Business Connections.
Yeah, 7:30. If you need the information, it's on the chamber website or
Okay.
in your email, either or. So, anyone else have anything you want to share for the good of the order, as it said?
Mhm.
Otherwise, everyone have a fantastic Thursday and Friday and great weekend, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thank
You
you
too, John.
all.
Have a good
Nice
one.
to meet everybody. Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.